All right. All right. Hey guys, what's happening? It's me. We are back from yesterday. And yesterday we left off. We gave ourselves a note, like a start here note. Where's the start here note? There it is, right there. So the intention was to continue to proof and revise from here. But today I spent a lot of time thinking and one of the things I think I want to do is make our introduction graphical based. So we were struggling a little bit yesterday with having to deal with its introduction, so you don't want to get too deep into things, but you still need to kind of touch on all the points. And given the number of points that there are to touch on, it just makes the introduction kind of lengthy. And I think the introduction's job is to pull people into the rest of the document. So I think the faster that we can convey the information, the more powerful the white paper is going to be. And so for that reason, I think that we should make the introduction graphical as much as it can be. So just gonna send this away. And then pretty much the intention is to the intention is to recreate what I've sketched out here. And I'm not sure how well it's going to translate, but let's just play with it a little bit. And we're not going to worry too much about how it looks for the moment. We're going to focus on the job that it does. Let's see. How do I... Weird. I'm not sure how I missed that for so long. I don't know if they should be square or kind of offset. And actually, these need to be a little bit smaller. Yeah, I'm gonna make them small for now. They'll probably need to be larger later. So, object, let's just block that for now. Okay, so now I can't select it by mistake anymore. Let's go ahead and zoom into these things, which I suppose I should not have rotated yet, but that's okay. So we've sourced, I was going to show you guys on the stream tonight, but I don't have them handy. We're going to just put in here for now $1 billion. $1 billion. And I guess we'll put like Venezuela. All center. So we'll actually have an image of the $1 billion note. I put it in the box, which I did not mean to do. Copy, delete. paste. All right, so $1 billion Venezuela, and there's a few different examples that we'll have. Maybe we just want to do one. I don't know. I think the fastest way is just to restart. And let's just do, for the sake of keeping this graphic clean for now, let's just do that. And I want to jump out here. Since we're not doing it just for, since I'm streaming to you guys, let me give you the two pieces of it. So we have a piece called Today, and we have a piece called Tomorrow. What is this? 24? 24. This is not the right way to lay stuff out, but we're just going to go quick. So this is the tomorrow side. And in here, there's essentially, well, let's stay on track here. So this is going to say, right now we're just, this is building good. So building, there's supposed to be a drawing that was associated with this. So, but I'll come back to that. So building good, and then building good, and so let's flesh that out just a tiny bit so we actually know what we're talking about. So we're talking about building responsibly, which is not the phraseology that I want to use. And what kind of a spelling is that? Responsibly. So this is the introduction. So this is very, very well maybe their first, probably will be some people's very first exposure. So we can't just say building responsibly because nobody's going to know what that is. So we have to say that, I had another thing down here. Maybe we say that up here instead. So we say 95% of the face of the planet is open space. And I don't want to get so deep into it though. That's the hard part. It's like I want to stay high level and I want to also get all the information across. It's a struggle for me. So let's just keep going. So 95% of the planet. So there's actually a graph that I did. So yeah, maybe we do pull that in here. So let's just draw a rudimentary graph for now. So instead of saying this, we'll have a little pie chart. And the pie chart is going to, have, oh, why is that not working? Pen tool, thank you. there to there to there. And so this part we don't want to go in the circle. We know that already. So, in fact, let me fix one of these or all of these. Undo clear, clear text. Oh, because I locked it. That's what's happening. Object unlock all. And now let's grab this font. It's Calibri Bold. Let's lock it again. And then let's just fix some stuff. Sometimes it takes me a little bit to kind of get back in the zone of what program I'm in. So we're just going to say $1 billion. So we have a Zimbabwe bill that literally says $1 billion on it, and it's just, you look at it, you're like, this is $1 billion, and it's pretty compelling. It tells a pretty powerful story. So we have $1 billion, and then we're going to have another one over here that's going to say, this is going to be like a curve. Convert direction point tool. There we go. Whoops. Okay, so that's good enough for now. And then we're going to change this to say we are here. And there'll be like an arrow. There's like an arrowheads thing. Window. I'll find it later. But yeah, there's an arrowheads palette. We'll just do one of these for now. Okay. And we need a US flag. So again, we're not a US based project. Earth is not a US based project. Earth is a global project. But the United States does play a big role in the Earth project from the perspective that the US dollar is considered to be the planet's most solid currency, the most reliable currency, right? The greenback. And so the problem that we have is that the Earth's go-to currency is in the wrong part of town when it comes to this debt curve. So we have an unsustainable financial situation and failure is inevitable. So, and we'll just say this is like the U.S. A, so we'll have like a stars and stripes. Maybe I don't. I mean, it's a global. It's a global, multiple economies have the same issue. But it's when the United States, in my opinion, I think it's when the United States, when the greenback, when people lose confidence in the greenback and the currency dies. I mean, let's just say it. That's going to be weird, and it's going to be terrifying. But in my opinion, it's inevitable, and I don't think it's an opinion. I think it's pretty much a fact. I guess the greenback could be reborn, and it would be like greenback version 2, but people would be stupid to adopt the same thing over again, right? Especially when there's something better. So, in any case, we can go to here, and let's work on this again for a second. So, this and this. Too many lines. Let's just do this. Oh. We'll call this one okay, this is the pie chart. It's the pie chart. I had that down here. Oh, so it's the amount of open space on the planet. And then this is going to say why are we all squished together here? Probably have to say that differently, but that's what we want to say. Maybe we need to elaborate on it. So we have maybe we just ask some questions now. Maybe we just call it what we're doing. So we'll say, I think I should increase some font size here so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay, so what do we have? 8 point. Let's make that 10 point and make this 10 point, and we'll stay zoomed in, and that way you guys can see a little bit better. So did I make that 10 point yet? I did. So now we just need to do that. And then here, kids should have space in their yard to play catch. neighborhoods. Let's keep it really simple. So kids should have space in the yard to play catch, and commercial spaces should have open green space and trees. Kids should have space in the yard to play catch. Commercial spaces should have plenty of green space and trees. Economics forces compact development. I'm not sure if compact is the right word there. Economics force compact development. Economic forces result in tight, close. Kids should have space in the yard to play catch. Commercial spaces should have plenty of green space and trees. Economic forces result in dense, to maximize the value extracted from land. Earth is changing those economics. Okay, so let's just jump back over here really quick. I honestly think everyone's collectively there, so maybe we don't need to deal with that part of our position right now. That we're all totally screwed when the greenback falters, right? So the global economy can withstand a currency like Venezuela's currency collapsing, right? So it's like, oh, poor Venezuela, it's horrible what's happening there, but the world goes on, right? What happens when the U.S. dollar collapses? I think you end up with just a domino effect, right? There's just everything falters. So let's type in or paste here. Do this, and then this says we've entered the unsustainable phase. We have entered the unsustainable phase. We are here. Okay, so something like that. And then this this is the first one. So this is first, this is second. So this one says currency crisis due to or resulting from hyperinflation caused by government mismanagement. And yeah, for the record, having a financial system where this occurs definitely falls into the category of government mismanagement. It was short-sighted, is what it was. It was, if we make this change, it'll benefit us for the next 100 years. And what we have going on right now, there's a problem, and so let's put this patch on it, and we'll let the next group of people on the planet deal with it. So I think we're kind of the transitional group. But the people that are going to deal with it, I think, are going to be my kids or their kids. Because we are here, right? It's not 1990. Okay, so we probably should throw a couple of dates on here. So there's just imagery. So you have $1 billion note from Venezuela, and then we have just really brief currency crisis resulting from hyperinflation caused by government mismanagement. And then right next to it, we show this. And I think those two things together illustrate or make a point, right? So if somebody looking at this white paper now can, I guess I shouldn't do that. I think we'll just leave it square. Okay, so you take it off square and it makes the graph hard to read, right? So it's 1 and 2, so let's just leave them like this. So, but this is not developing the way that I wanted it to over here, because we have, what I'm trying to convey here is a few thoughts. And so this is all developed from wanting to just say, and I did originally just say, building good, right? So we want to build better. And that evolved into saying all this. But in this today section, what I'm trying to really do is say that we're going to, there's another piece here. Small amounts of capital raised from large numbers of people. So maybe I move that up to here. Maybe. Let's try. So build better. Raise. Let's put what I had. So raise large amounts of capital from large raise small amounts of capital from a large number of people. So the goal is to build better. How are we going to do it? Because we're going to raise a lot of capital, small amounts of capital from a large number of people. And then because there's two things that we're trying to illustrate here. Draw a little. I'm losing margins and stuff, but imagine a wall here where the two issues are the regulatory issue that we face. Because some of the stuff that we want to do, we really can't do or shouldn't do given today's uncertain regulatory environment. And so one of the beautiful parts about the Earth Project is that it's designed to function in today's regulatory environment and also be positioned to satisfy what very well may be a very significant need in tomorrow's world. But also not only from a regulatory perspective, but also from a market perspective. So right now, the market needs this. Our purpose and goal in the market now is to grow and develop and have an ever increasing base of real estate assets that the Earth Project owns. And so the more real estate that the Earth Project owns, the more valuable the Earth Project is. And so from that perspective, we're very much a build and grow a massive real estate portfolio. Given today's way of doing things, that's the objective of the Earth Project. But we want to do it in a way that solves this problem of the fact that we don't build on the Earth responsibly. So we're going to raise a large amount of capital, and we're going to build on the Earth responsibly. And so that means there's actually three areas. There's the startup towns. There's the improve what we have, or maintain, and it's like I don't want to. My vision is not to go in. I don't think the vision is to like tear things down and restart, because I think there's a lot of value in history. So although some areas might be not the most well thought out developed places, if those places have been around for 50 years or 100 years, that's home to people. And so I think what we do is we work within the framework that exists there, and we improve those places. Improve, again, is the wrong word. Maintain them. If they're dilapidated, let's make them fresh again. But we don't need to tear things down. So anyway, you have the startup towns, you have the maintain and preserve and improve what we have, and then you have the suburbs. And so we'll draw this out in probably tomorrow's stream, but essentially the capital that we raise is going to function in those areas. So the startup towns is going to one of these places where there's nothing, and let's build a community there from the ground up, right? Where things are spaced out in a logical way, right? There's room to breathe, and it's well developed. It's thoughtfully developed, so that today's generation and next generation and generations for the next 150 years and beyond can enjoy those spaces. In 200 years or 300 years, when the buildings need to be rebuilt, homes don't last for 10,000 years. The layout of the community is going to dictate how things are rebuilt, right? And so there's if everything is if homes are nice and spread out, and we build it the right way, when the time comes to rebuild, because we've built a certain way and we've recorded things a certain way, things will continue to be rebuilt that way. So we're as we develop these startup towns, we can set the framework for probably forever on how things are spaced out and how things are organized. And so I think it'll be really fun and really interesting to build some places like that. The suburb part is the same thing, more spaced out. Now, obviously, it's a subset of a whole town, maybe just a residential neighborhood. But if you have a suburb where all the homes are packed together and there's no backyards and it's just house after house after house and no space between them, and then a mile away, somebody with enough capital has bought a large piece of land and has said, you know what, no, we're not going to develop it that way. We're going to develop it spread out. And by the way, this is part of the Earth Project. And so this community in the suburbs of the city will actually serve as a de facto sales office for the startup towns. So you get a taste of what the startup town looks like by looking at our project here in the suburbs. So it's really those three areas. It's startup towns, it's suburbs, and it's maintaining and revitalizing the existing things that we have. Now that ties back into here. So what I need to get across here is that so in today's market, on this regulatory side over here, we have so investment is I want to say secured is not the right word. We'll just say tracked is a horrible word. Investment holdings are in bearer stock, meaning if you have it, you own it. Earth is using blockchain to we'll say for records. So what we're trying to say here is that because in today's world, blockchain is only serving as a database for us. Yes, there's some benefits of that database, which are going to help us tomorrow, and they'll help us today too. They're definitely going to help us more later potentially, but when you invest in Earth, it's just like investing in any other project where your investment has secured you shares of ownership in that entity. And the shares of ownership in Earth are in the form of stock. That's what a share is, right? And we're simply using blockchain as our database to store that ownership record. And it's a bearer record. So if you have your keys, you own that Earth, then you own that share. And if you want to sell that share to somebody else, you want to sell that Earth to somebody else, you simply send the Earth to their address. And now, because they have that Earth at an address that they control, they now own the Earth. And so so we're using today's in proven and compliant investment mechanisms to raise capital, and we're simply tracking the ownership in blockchain. So so I guess really briefly, in tomorrow's market, the reason that's so powerful is that if today, if between now and the time that the old economic structure falters, we're able to create a system where there's an asset that is easy to exchange. It is unhackable. It is it's interchangeable. It's fungible. So anything is any Earth is good as any other Earth. It's like the dollar. If you have a dollar or another dollar, doesn't matter which dollar you have. They're all just dollars. That's fungible. Earth has these qualities, the same qualities that Bitcoin has. That's another point on here that we need to get into here is Bitcoin is currently, if all the economies of the world collapsed, Bitcoin would, in my opinion and many other people's opinion, would be the front runner for taking place, to taking the place of the previous way of doing things. Right, Bitcoin is the new currency. Bitcoin is currently the front runner. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. The problem is that while Bitcoin has all of the benefits of being scarce, so there's not a million, billion, trillion of them. There's a finite amount of them. And it has the benefits of being unhackable, and the benefits of being interchangeable. The problems that Bitcoin has is, one, I think the main problem that Bitcoin has, honestly, is that there's a few people that own a disproportionately large amount of the Bitcoin economy. So there's going to be, in an environment where we all switch to using Bitcoin, there's going to be some extremely, extremely, extremely wealthy Bitcoin owners. And that's, I think that's a problem. There's also the power usage issue, and there's also, and most importantly, I think, is the fact that Bitcoin, while scarce, is not backed by anything. And so, the scarcity very well might be enough. But I think that there's a place for, maybe not a place for, but maybe a more powerful position for Earth in that it's actually backed by something. Bitcoin has scarcity. Earth has scarcity too, the same exact scarcity, right? Both dictated by blockchain. So we have the same scarcity. Earth has the same scarcity of Bitcoin, but Earth has the benefit of being backed by ownership of the planet itself. And our distribution mechanism, our algorithm that deals with release of Earth. In fact, I need to write something down there. So there was the algorithm is such that it prevents somebody from. It doesn't prevent. It is. It creates a balance. The algorithm creates a balance that will help ensure that people have equal access to entering the market. So somebody can't come in with $100 billion and be like, I want half. And we're not. It's not mining, and it's not. I'll talk more about what it's not later, but it's not mining, and it's not staking, and so this is going to be the more number of people. I'm just making a note for myself. The more number of people as a percentage of the planet population, the more Earth will be released per cycle. And then there's a equal distribution thing. So because our KYC is going to be, has to be on point. And so the fact that will know every single person will, by definition, create an opportunity to interact with individuals so that we can ensure fair distribution. So now that's not to say that some people won't buy more than others. So there'll be like an opportunity for those that are diligent and want to dollar cost average their way into accumulating as much Earth as possible. Those people will be able to buy more, but the mechanism is such that somebody can't come in and just buy entire blocks of the market. We're trying to ensure that there's, and not ensure, but just encourage and provide a mechanism so that it promotes broad as opposed to few. Okay, so I was just leaving that note for myself. Where did it go? This is going to be called, draw a box around it, and this is the release algorithm. That algorithm's taken on a few different forms. And it may take on others before we release. So I am going to add that in there later. So let's just do this really quick. So we're going to build better. We're going to raise small amounts of capital from a large amount of people. Holdings are in shares, are in bearer stock. Earth is using blockchain to issue bearer stock. Here it is. So it says building good, token equals ownership share. Same as bearer stock. We're using blockchain for proof of ownership. Building good. Token equals, so I brought that part up, and then we have token equals that. I'm trying to figure out if I should be saying it this way or this way. I don't think we're going to say it either way, honestly. But building good, goal, build better, token. I don't think we need to say token equals ownership share, because it's inherent in blockchain. And I think the word token for non-blockchain people, the word token is confusing. I mean, honestly, the old use of token is like fake money, right? Like you'd use a token in an arcade game or some other coin type of coin actuated device. You use a token. So it's like fake money, right? So let's stay away from that for at least the introduction. And so tomorrow, then we got to deal with the tomorrow section here. We need to deal with so we need a brief sentence that talks about tomorrow. Oh, there's a part over here where we've already built it. So there's, because of all this stuff, so we're building this today. So it's like, because we are building this today, and there'll be like, I should just do this. Oops. Pet tool. No, I'm going to do like there to there. Because we were building all this today. We, Earth will be in place and ready for tomorrow. We've already built it. We've already built it. We're already building it starting now. So we've already built it, or we're building it starting now. Because we're building all this today, Earth will be in place and ready for tomorrow. So when the time comes, it's effectively just a flip of the switch. So let's just do that. And then Earth will be in place and ready for tomorrow. When the time comes, Earth will be ready at the flip of a switch. Where the flip of the switch is simply the public's adoption of use. When the time comes, Earth will be ready to function as a currency, at the flip of a switch. And what I think we should say, at the flip of the switch, and the flip of the switch is simply the public's adoption of use. Public is singular, so it's like that, I think. All right, gotta redo a lot of this language and whatnot, and there's more elements that we have to add in. You know, there's a whole bunch of stuff there from just thoughts today. So there's a lot more that I need to get down here, things that aren't here yet. So I'm gonna take a break. Get some dinner. It's 10:11 p.m. and I have not eaten dinner yet. That's never a good thing. And if I can get refocused, that's not the right word. If I can find the energy, I'm going to stream again tonight. If not, I'll stream again in the morning. So for now, thank you guys for watching. Obviously a work in progress. But I think the general idea of having a one-page introduction that's more in the form of a graph might help people learn about what we're doing faster, or just in a different way that might be helpful. So that is it for now. I appreciate you watching, and talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.